Welcome back to the second session, and in this second session under reward, we will talk about rewards as recognition of one's work. Rewards as recognition of one's work. This second aspect of rewards is reserved for the life to come and will recognize the extent of one's accomplishment in the furtherance of gospel. 1 Corinthians chapter number 3, verse number 8, 10 to 14. Of necessity then rewards will be tangible so that the gradation may be visible to all. Here Paul defines them only as praise from God. 1 Corinthians 4, verse number 5. But elsewhere he also speaks of as crowns that he equates with those who has won for Christ. Philippians chapter number 4, verse number 1. An attractive possibility, therefore, is that the tangible rewards will be a literal crown, representing in some manners his converts. And that Paul does consider his converts as a part of his reward. It's evident from his summation of his life work as the gaining is what we see of as many as possible for Christ. This we see in 1 Corinthians chapter number 9, verse number 19 to 22. Not all, however, will receive this crown. And here again Paul makes use of a negative appeal to self-interest. Those whose works do not endure the testing and the judgment will suffer loss. 1 Corinthians chapter number 3, verse number 15. Though not the loss of salvation itself, this will clearly be a diminution of one's eternal happiness. Thus here, two Paul's appeal to self-interest function as an incentive to win men and women for Christ. It is not selfishness. However, there is a problem, the problem of pride. And we would also see the solution as well in this session. So let us look into the problem of pride. But if disagree or if degrees of accomplishment are displayed for all to see, this would seem inevitably to lead to pride and boasting on the part of those with more impressive crowns. How can this be harmonized with Paul's insistence that boasting is excluded and God alone to be praised, which he had recorded in Romans chapter number 3, verse number 27, and 1 Corinthians chapter number 1, verse number 31. So this is the problem. Will there be a problem of pride when each believer receives different rewards and crowns in heaven? So is it going in line with other Paul's teachings in the Bible? So let us look into the solution to the problem of pride as far as these rewards are concerned. The reason Paul sees pride in one's accomplishment as impossible is that the rewards do not reflect the glory of those to whom they are given, but the glory of the giver. That's the point here. That the rewards do not reflect the glory of those to whom they are given, but the glory of the giver, the God. For it is the joy of fellowship with Him and confidence in His integrity in keeping His promises that provides the motivation. Furthermore, Paul's rule of life is that every thought, every word, and every deed is to enhance the glory of God. 1 Corinthians chapter number 10, verse number 31. To demonstrate that He is truly the summum bonum of life and thus worthy of worship. Differing degrees of reward then reflect not the relative worth of the individual per se, but the extent to which each one has found delight in the fellowship with God and has thus been dedicated to the doing of His will. So there is not going to be any attitude of pride in heaven. Though some might think that if there are degrees of crown in heaven, will there be an attitude of pride prevailing in heaven? And Paul brings to this problem of pride as a solution by presenting that, for it is the joy of fellowship with him, the confidence in his integrity, in keeping his promises, that provides the motivation. So to explain and clarify further in the third session, I would explain, so what are those rewards? What are those crowns? And how those crowns, on what basis those crowns are going to be given by Jesus to the body of Christ, is what we'll be looking into together. So as of now, for this session, this is the end. May God bless you. Thank you.